Hi there, Dead Idea Boy here, back with another video. And amongst us, we have a member of the SS. Now, I've not seen that driver waiting for a while, but apparently it is back and it is reserved for World Tour finalists or qualifiers only. So you know the guy in P1 is a very, very, very quick driver. But yeah, thanks for tuning in and hopefully you're going to enjoy the video. It's Daily Race C. It's at Suzuka, it's in the Group 3 cars, and although we have the dominance of the Nissan GTR, my car of choice, we've got a few others in here, including the Mustang in front of us, and a few others, Porsches, Beetles, I think there's a Lexus as well in there, and even a Honda. But yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy this race we've got coming up for you as we head down towards turn 1, and a puff of smoke momentarily blinds me there, as we end up sending it when we didn't really expect to into turn 1, and for some reason the game thinks I am to blame for everything that just happened there, and it gives me a 2-second penalty without explanation what that 2-second penalty was for. There was slight contact as I made my way through turn 1 through the smoke, but I mean any contact was absolutely avoidable, and perhaps that was also avoidable, as you see there Verstappen getting nudged slightly wide there, and it's not a good corner to get nudged on because it's instant death, and the nudger succumbs himself there to the track and drifts a little bit wide, manages to save it just about, and yeah, it's been an eventful start, let's just say, but we're already now went from last up to P11, and we've got some cars in front that we look like we can get into a race with. However, we're going to serve this pesky 2-second penalty, which was up there with one of the greatest travesties of all time in Gran Turismo history. I mean, 2 seconds for that is unbelievable. Fix your game, PD. Fix your penalty system, please. Anyway, nothing we can do about it now. There's no VAR here to get us out of this situation. We're just going to have to serve the penalty down here at the penalty line, suck it up. The 2 seconds will seem like an eternity. Guess which gear to be back into to pull away. Third gear wasn't the choice. To drop momentarily into second there to try and get some traction and get away again. But you can see we've lost a lot of ground there to the cars in front, and only Verstappen behind us is keeping us from being last. But it's getting a bit racy again. You can see the Beetle once again involved. He's already been in, that's his third sort of incident now, but that kind of tells you that the back of this pack is not going to be necessarily the easiest to negotiate, as we want to try and make our way forward and hopefully get up and battle amongst the quick boys at the front. You can see there the Nissan GTR getting all fishtail happy as we look for a possibility of a little send, but back out at the last second. We would have probably just spun the Beetle if we had sent that any further than we did. So we back out, hold the place, see if we can perhaps pick up another little spot as we slalom through the S's for the second time. But yeah, you can see here the Beetle's just going to drift a little bit wide, and we are going to perhaps look for a little send, but we think better of it, and we kind of just have to get out of a little bit, lose a little bit of ground. So we'll look for another opportunity to get past, hopefully, as the yellow flags come out. Not sure who for, but we're going to pick up a position anyway. Yep, we're picking up a position on a BMW who's saw the gravel for the first time, and yeah, we're happy recipients of another freebie as we come through the hairpin in a nice tight line and head up towards Spoon for the second time. Now, Daily Race C this week is a lot of fun. It's Suzuka, it's Group 3, but dare I say it, it's not been as fun as it has been in previous incarnations. As you can see, the Beetle's just going to go wide again. He's having a lot of trouble keeping that Beetle on the track, which is quite unusual as it's a really stable car and it's a really easy to drive car, to be honest with you. So Spoon can catch a lot of people out, even in some of the cars that are pretty simple to drive. But as I was saying, I digress. As I was saying, the yellow flags, are coming out again, and we're going to perhaps see if we can get another freebie. Not quite, I don't think this time, but we're right on the back now of the GTR and on the Honda, so we're right in amongst it, and we've managed to, as I say, pick our way up to P12, and the driver in front with the penalty, so we're potentially going to pick up another free spot on the back of that. But yeah, sorry, going back to the point, I'll try again. for the third time. Going back to the point, yeah, it's not been as fun as it has been in previous carnations, because although there is a bit of strategy with 2 tyres required in this race, we're starting on the mediums. Everybody's starting on the mediums because realistically the tyre wear means the softs only last for 4 laps. Now, even if you're starting in pole position, that removes the ability to start on the softs, because if you're only getting 4 laps out of the softs and you pit after 4, and all the medium runners are like us, we're going to do 6 laps, 5 or 6 laps on the mediums, then you're going to come back out into traffic. So there's no benefit to starting on the soft tyres, even if you're on pole. So I don't know why PD haven't thought about this, but they're basically given us tyre choices, but there's no real strategy. Everybody has to really pit on the same lap, because we're all starting on the same tyres. So there's no way of maybe jumping onto the softs and getting a little bit of a head start, because your soft tyres will be dead even if you do 1 extra lap on them by the end of the race, and it's a big gamble to do it. But it's just it's like a lot of things with Gran Turismo 7 at the moment. They keep getting things almost right, but there's always something that just lets us think what could have been. But yeah, we're on the back of the driver serving the penalty there, and we just go right through his ghost and right onto the back of the Honda driver. We back out there though. I got the feeling he wasn't going to back out, so didn't want to risk sending him to the shadow realm. So we back out, give him the space. We're going to be right back on him anyway, as I believe we've got the pace here. Got the pace to get past at some point, and we're going to have a really good run down the home straight, heading up to turn 1. Now, is he going to defend? He is going to defend, and we're going to pin him over to the wall as long as possible, and then we're going to move out at the last second and just get the move done nicely there. He actually backed out, so fair play to him. He did back out, and brief yellow flag moment as well. Now, a lot of people were coming unstuck in this race just from driving off the track, not quite getting the flow. And Suzuka is very much a flow track. It's a technical track, as you can see somebody not really mastering the technicalities of it there, but they went off there to the left. But a lot of people doing the same sort of things, and you can see here we're catching back up to the hairpin. Again, it's a really big technical part of the track, this, because the hairpin, you can, if you don't make a mistake in the hairpin, you can get some really good drive out of it, and you can really start to make inroads into the cars in front. It's something, if you time trial and watch the top drivers and watch their ghosts, just watch how quickly they can get the power back down coming out the hairpin. Unlike the driver of the bright orange GTR there, certainly not able to get the power down coming out of spoon if you're on the AstroTurf. That's almost certain death if you do that. We've got a run here on the Argentinian, or is it Uruguayan? I can't quite make out the flag. I'm going to say Argentinian, because I think I can see a little sun in the middle of the flag. Anyway, he's perhaps still celebrating his World Cup win. Perhaps he'll just give us the place ahead of him because he's feeling generous, but no. He's going to battle us all the way down the straight, and we're going to move momentarily up into P5. Now, you can see there were people starting on different tyres, on softs, but they've done 5 laps now. They're going to be struggling towards the end. Now, it's just not the strategy race that we hoped it would be. That's all I'm saying, because it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating. Anyway, what is frustrating as well is, not for me, for the driver behind us there. Now behind us, he's spun off, and as he came sliding back on the track, he hits us and gives us a little bit of damage. Now I'm going to have to go through 130R here with a dodgy back right tyre and a dodgy back end, and hope that the car remains stable enough, which it does, to be fair. And that's one of the things, the 2013 Nissan GTR, in terms of drivability compared to Gran Turismo Sport, this is night and day. In Gran Turismo Sport, it was an absolute beast to try and tame it. The back end wanted to kill you anytime you even thought about second gear, for instance, but this is really pretty stable, and it's really good on tyres as well. So You can understand why people are using this car and why the top guys in the world are time trialling and setting ridiculously quick times around this track using it, because it's just a really, really good car to drive. Compared to what it was like. It was in GT Sport, if you could master it, then fair play, but you don't even really need to be able to master it in GT7. Like a lot of cars, the physics, they kind of lend themselves to the less skilled. And perhaps that's why I'm finding a little bit of pace these days, because the handling suits. But we're now right on the back of this Lexus. First time I've seen a Lexus in one of these races, and we're going to hopefully try and catch up to the two cars in front. Now, I didn't really want to battle too hard with the Lexus driver here, because, like I said, we've got a potential P4 just up ahead, so if we fight too hard we could end up losing to them. And yeah, with one lap to go, I'd rather take my chances in gambling for a P4 than battling it out for a P6. The Lexus driver getting really squirmy there, so we're going to now just come up to the hairpin and see if we can get anything out of this, because again, if you get the power down too quick you can spin out. But all four drivers there managing to keep everything in check. We've still got to watch out behind. The Argentinian driver is still lurking well within the slipstream, hoping, like myself, to pick up a position. Now, round spoon, and just about every single lap round spoon somebody made a mistake, and you can see the Porsche driver makes the mistake this time, causing the Lexus driver to back out because they thought he was going to get hit. I then have to back out, and we all concertina up, and that gives the driver behind the GTR a really good chance to make a run on me now. So I really need to get the foot down and try and get on the back of this Lexus, perhaps even try and go for the move. Thinking about it up the inside, but we back out. Didn't want to send it in case it caused a humongous accident. So we're going to live to fight another day, but we've lost a little bit of ground there, and we're also, as you can see from the radar, under a big threat from behind. So coming up, the last lap is going to be fairly intense, because we've still got the opportunity for P4 out of this from the back, remember, and we've got a driver behind us just almost showing me the nose of his car there, so I was wary of that, but thankfully there's no contact made, and he just backed out and allowed us safely around turn 1. So we're back on the tail now of the Lexus. The GTR and P4 is our main target though. We really do want to try and get past the Lexus driver as soon as possible, but not really a passing place around this section of the track. So we're going to have to maybe bide our time heading up to the hairpin and see if we can get a move done there, or see if somebody can make a mistake, which a lot of people have been making, as I said. So round the right-hander there, powering out in third. Once again, the Lexus driver getting very, very squirmy. Now we've got a little bit of a run to back out slightly, but we're going to go wide and try and see if we can go for the cutback and just switch it down underneath. And now we have got a bit of the cutback done. We've not completed it, but we're going to have a run up the inside. Now it's important that we keep our nose just some way along to stop him coming across and blocking us, and we're managing to do that. We're managing to keep the nose halfway along the car now, and we're going to have to outbrake him, which we do. But now look at the radar. You can see him in the radar just drifting wide, and I actually thought he'd went off, to be fair. I actually thought I had maybe even touched him and forced him off because of the amount of time that he lost. So that is now firmly in the back of my mind. We've kind of lost out on the hope of P4 because he's now managed to pull away as we got the move done. But we're up to P5, but in the back of my mind, something's telling me I've forced him off the track, and I really didn't want to be responsible for that, and I didn't want, after such a good race with him, to have a sort of tainted position. So I make the decision to pull over to the side here. I can see him coming through, and he's going to come up, and then he slows down. I think he actually was trying to let me have the position, which made me then think, well, maybe I didn't touch him. However, in the lobby after it, I apologise in case I have touched him, and you know, we just want to make things nice and amicable. And he replies back, as you can see, by saying no worries, and leaves the lobby. And I thought to myself, well, he's not said, no, you never touched me, and left the lobby. So I thought, let's go back and check the replay. Don't know what's happening with the sound in the replay. It seems to be bugged for some reason. But you can see here, we give him really a lot of space there, more than a car's width to our right. We don't make any contact or even come close to making any contact. He just misjudged it, and we got the position. So yeah, in hindsight, maybe I'm overly generous there by stopping and giving the position back. You can see that's just the nature of the way we drive here. I'd rather give a position, especially if it's just for a P5 in a daily race. I'll give that position up quite happily rather than be called out as a dirty driver. Now, yeah, that's just the way it is. But if you liked the video, then thanks for watching it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. That would be a massive help, really would. It would help us get somewhere close to where the big boys are, although we're about 45,000 subscribers short of that. But you know what I mean. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the video, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next one. Goodbye.